So a lot of people have been asking me to make a video about the state of Islands of Nyne. Islands of Nyne has been decreasing in players pretty rapidly here in the past couple of days, peaking at about 500 to 600 players every 24 hours and having about 300 players playing it throughout the day, which is really, really bad. That's really not what we want to see from the game. And today I wanted to kind of talk about why I think it's gotten to this point and what I think that they did wrong. Now, I do not ever, try to season anything with a bunch of ass kissing. I know the devs watch me. I know Tinge watches me. I know JPEG watches me. I know Tom has watched me. And if you guys are watching, I love you guys to death, but I try to keep it as real as possible with every single one of my videos. So I'm not trying to harp on your game. I absolutely love your game, but I am going to just, be brutally honest in this video with what I think you guys did wrong and why I think it's not doing that well. Now, the first one I want to talk about is it brought nothing new to the table. Now, I know it brought shields, it brought, the medding with the needle, you can med really fast, and it brought a fast-paced, just overall feel to the game. But when you boil it down to it, it is basically first-person PUBG with bunny hopping and nano meds. It's nothing new, it's nothing insane. The reason that Fortnite completely overhauled Battle Royales is because it brought building aspect into it. And the reason that PUBG, brought everything new to it, the battle royale genre, is because we had never had a game that was like, actually realistic, had to be placed in the actual combat, feel like you're in an army setting. So this game, it's a really, really good game to me, and it's better than PUBG by miles, but it really didn't appeal to anybody because it brought nothing new. It's an AK, an M4, a sniper, a P90, a UMP, a deagle, a pistol, and that's it. It's cool that it's set in a futuristic dome. It's cool that it's fast paced, but it really didn't appeal to that many people because it was absolutely nothing eye-catching about it. Now, the next was poor marketing. The marketing has been not that great for the game. There was little to no marketing for it, advertising, and their biggest reliance was on launch day, and launch day really hurt the game as well, because if you played on the launch day of the game, they had 7,000 people playing, and the voice chat, from what I've heard from the devs, is what caused the game to completely freeze constantly. As you would be walking, you would just freeze all the time. We had never had any issues in alpha testing or anything, but with so many people on the server, it caused the game to freeze constantly. And you had Summit, The Doc, Shroud, huge streamers, I'm pretty sure Josh OG, all these people, thousands upon thousands, hundreds of thousands of people watching the game, and they're seeing their favorite streamers complain and be mad and have lag and not be able to get into a game. The queues didn't work. You couldn't get into a game for, an hour at a time before you would actually get put into your next game, and the list just goes on and on. So not only did the marketing not help, the lack of marketing, but the launch day was really, really rough, and we never saw those numbers again after launch day was so rough. Now, continuing into the marketing, they started the Ion partnership. Now, that was when they were partnering with streamers to give them custom servers and other things to use in their streams while they played Islands of Nyne, and a lot of people got really mad because they brought in people who nobody even knew who they were, and that it's not like they were huge people either. They had no following to little following at all, and that pissed off a lot of the content creators like Urban, Gameface, Iridium. I know Gameface and Iridium really hasn't said anything because they're like the nicest dudes on earth, but it pissed a lot of people off that Urban and Gameface and Iridium didn't get it, regardless if they were vocal about it or not. A lot of the community thought that they deserved it, and apparently their view count was not high enough, but we were all kind of pulling up on the Ion partner announcements, like the Patrick Star meme here. That's kind of how we felt when they announced the partners for the game, that announcing people that had never even played. Now, the next is the price. Yes, I know I'm backtracking on myself from yesterday, because if you watch yesterday's video, I said that Battle Royale, like Fortnite, had made every single Battle Royale have to go to the free-to-play route. But the fact of the matter is that with Fortnite being out right now, it is really, 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 really hard to charge $25 for a Battle Royale, especially an early access one. I think that they should have went the free-to-play route. I said that from the beginning, but I didn't really want to, make it all depressing and shit on the timeline, so, I just kind of I kind of kept hush-hush about how I wanted it free-to-play, but free-to-play with purchasable skins for about $10 to $15 in-game is the only way that you can do a Battle Royale at this moment, especially an early access one. Sure, COD can get away with charging, but they're charging for a full-owned COD, multiplayer, zombies, all that stuff with their Blackout, Battle Royale. They're not just charging for the Battle Royale itself. I've seen so many Twitch streamers, content creators and stuff talk about how the price point killed the game. The price point was way too high, maybe 10 bucks, 10 bucks at the most, but like $25, sure, I know it's worth $25. The game has been the best $25 I've ever spent. I would go back and spend $50, $100 on it. I don't care. But the fact of the matter is that not everyone, the majority of the population, will not spend 25 bucks on an early access battle royale, not knowing if it will fail, not knowing if it will succeed, not knowing, you know, all this stuff, all the factors that can play into it. You know, they will not do that, and that will ultimately kill your game. It's hard enough to make it as a free-to-play game. Radical Heights was a perfect example of a free-to-play game that did not work. It still had the player count, you know, almost as high as Islands of Nyne, maybe even higher, and you see where it ended up. It ended up in the trash with the servers shut down. You just cannot make it as a pay-to-play game, much less a free-to-play game, as hard as that is. So it really did hurt the game being $25. Now the next is the competitiveness of the game. Now I've touched on this in a few other videos. I've talked about how competitive the game is, how the game is meant to be the esports battle royale. It's supposed to be the competitive battle royale, and the problem with it being a competitive battle royale is that you cannot make it, or it is extremely hard, I should say, to make it as a competitive game. Most of your, population, general population of people are not competitive people. They are casual people who want to come home from a day at work, a day at school, whatever, and they want to sit down and they want to have fun. In this game, unless you are a sweaty tryhard, you are not going to have fun. You absolutely, positively are not going to have fun in Islands of Nyne if you are a casual player. I don't care what you say, you are not going to have fun unless you are sweating. I play this game almost every single day, and unless you're absolutely on your best, you're just, snapping on people and you're staying situationally aware, you are going to get shit on constantly because the time to kill is extremely fast, and you get pinched, you're dead. There's just no, if you get pinched, most of the time you are dead unless you absolutely just, pull off some godlike moves. But the game is way too competitive for it to have a huge player base to begin with. I said this from the beginning. I knew it wouldn't have a huge player base. People were saying millions and millions. I could not see millions and millions of people ever playing this game. Realistically, I said probably 100 to 200,000 at most is how many people could possibly play this game, because it cannot have a huge player base. It's just like Rainbow Six Siege. It's an extremely competitive game, and there aren't going to be that many people playing it. So the competitive aspect of it being centered around competition, really did hurt the player base and hurt the overall, just game player count in general. I've heard the term a lot that this game is a H1Z1 PUBG mixed Counter-Strike bunny hopping baby, and I do think that the game is amazing. A lot of people like to harp on it. I have been playing this game since really early alpha, and there's never been any bugs. There's only been maybe 1-2 bugs that I could ever count on hand, and there's been little to no, glitching issues. There's been no bad hit reg. I played H1, and H1 had issues for years. I played the early alpha of PUBG. PUBG had tons of issues in the early alpha, and it still has issues to this day. And I think if this game would have released before PUBG, I think it would have been, way bigger. It would have been a lot bigger, especially, if it would have been, 10, 15 bucks instead of 25 bucks and released before PUBG. This would have been a huge game. It already had the first person the first person point of view, and PUBG didn't bring that in until later, and people loved first person. So this game would have done a lot better if the timing would have been good on it. But an oversaturated market with the price count as high as it is, I just don't see it, going anywhere at this point unless they, go free to play. I'm not saying this just to harp on the game. You guys should know that I love this game, and I always have. I've played like 500 hours on it. This game has done so much for me. I love all the devs. I love the community that I've built around it, all the people that I've met, all the pro players. Every single person getting to compete in the Invitational was awesome, and I can't thank everybody enough. I'm still going to be playing till the lobbies just straight up stop filling, or whatever comes of it. But I really do love this game. I do hate to see it not succeed, and hopefully it can find some way of becoming big again. They've talked about Shroud playing the game and stuff, and that would be awesome. Shroud would, if Shroud did advertise the game for us, it would help. The game is good, like I said. It just has its issues, like I stated in this. So I think their best option would to be come out with a free-to-play, just a free-to-play weekend or something like H1Z1 has had in the past, and then get Shroud to promote it on stream, pay him to promote it on stream. Shroud does really like this game. He always has. He played it way early on as well. Shroud is one of those that'll play a Battle Royale and try it without being paid, and he loved this game before he ever even, got asked to play it or got, just all that kind of stuff. He definitely loves this game, and he did say he wanted it to succeed, but he said from the get-go as well that he didn't know if it could because of all the other Battle Royales and because of the price point. So, like I said, hopefully they can pull something out, maybe make, Shroud, the dock, all that. It depends on how much money they have, to be honest, because they will have to shell out a lot of money to get, Shroud and dock on the game. But that is the only way that I could see for them to try to save it, is to get them to, get on and have a good time and, maybe have it free to play at the time that they do that. But I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, sub, all that good stuff. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.